Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about this week's TV news, shows that are in development, premiere dates, renewals, cancellations. Not that we have any renewals or cancellations this week, it's that time of year, but that's the sort of thing you expect on the show. At the end of the episode, we also pick our favourite episode of TV of the week, which we're now getting to a point now where it's whittled down, and there's really only one option, actually, now that I think about it.
Was it just Handmaid's Tale this
It was
week?
just Handmaid's Tale, because Expanse and Westworld both finished last week, so it was just Handmaid's Tale's one, so...
Yep, there we
I
go.
mean, we'll say that again
Congratulations.
at the end, but that'll be the entire section, as it wins because it's all alone, and that's okay. But otherwise, we're going to crack on with the week's
You
news.
watch Glow?
I do, but I mean, we don't usually count the Netflix stuff.
No, we don't. But I mean, just for the sake of some variety.
I mean, it was a really good first episode of Glow. I really liked it. I don't know if I'd put
Question is though, was it as good as Handmaid's Tale?
I don't think it was as good as Handmaid's Tale was this week, but it was.
To be fair, most things aren't.
Most things aren't, so yeah. So it'd be a tough fight anyway, but there's no like, oh, here's something that almost got there, and this is just why it didn't, or why Handmaid's Tale was just one step ahead, or what. It was just, no, Handmaid's Tale just wins, because it was on its
This
own.
is Handmaid's Tale, yeah.
But here, so yeah, we'll get on with the news. We are a day or so later with this. I mean, it's funny because last week I said, oh, going forward, TV news will be Saturday morning, and then early Sunday will be trailers, then early Monday will be the movie news, and we ended up being late this week. That was awkward. But hey, so. That'll pretty much still ring true. This will go up as soon as I can get it up, and then trailers will be Sunday, and movie news will be Monday. Although we are recording the movie news a little bit earlier this week because Connor's got missing on Sunday, which makes it awkward for the box office predictions. But more than that in the movie news itself, you'll find out about that when we're actually doing it. But without further ado, let's talk about the week's TV news. So first up, we got a premiere date for the second season of Castlevania. Netflix animated series.
Oh, good. I know they were teasing stuff earlier because I think July 7th was a year since it came out. I think.
Yeah, there was an anime
Right.
convention.
I know. Like they were teasing on Twitter. Oh, announcement on the 7th because it's year's anniversary.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of Netflix anime news this week, and it all came from the same
Okay, cool.
same event. So Castlevania season 2 is coming October 26th, so right before Halloween.
That's a smart place for it.
A smart place. I'm actually surprised they announced it so early, but hey,
I mean, I guess they just wanted it on at this, anime thing.
So not much to say about that, but they also announced that the second season of Agretsuko, we'll say, which that's already had a first season. That's going to come in 2019. And then another premiere date news from Netflix. Again, this is still sticking with our anime stuff. Dragon Pilot is going to go out on September 21st. That series follows recently stationed Air Self-Defense Force rookie Haizone Amakasu. Sorry. I don't think they're hard to say, Japanese names, but I always have to just look at them and really think about it before I say it, because the vowels don't always...
But they're phonetic, aren't they?
Yeah, they're phonetic, so you don't have to... As long as you sit and actually look at it, but I usually try and just flow. I'm like, no, it's okay, I need to take a second, just think about what the name is, and then we can move on. So yeah, he's chosen by a dragon concealed within the Gifu airbase to be his pilot. So that's coming on September 21st.
I'll have to check that one out. It sounds kind of fun.
And then there's another one, the first season of Cannon Busters. Is it like Ghostbusters, but they go after cannons? Let's find out. This is really early, this one. This is coming on April 1st, 2019. So
to be fair, the anime announcements are usually a lot earlier because they do these big bulk announcements.
Oh,
So-
well, that's probably why. But the show follows the adventures of the exploits of Sam. That's all caps. It's an acronym, SAM. A high-end friendship droid who is joined by a quirky, discarded maintenance robot and a brash, deadly fugitive. Together, the unlikely trio embarks on a journey in search of Sam's best friend, the heir to the kingdom under siege.
Sounds like it could be fun. I'd have to see a trailer
They also announced a couple of new ones, which we'll get to later in the new show.
in the new show section. Yeah.
But that was all the dates for stuff that they've announced already. So there you go. So some anime, and you can tell it's a light we can use when I'm letting all this anime shit.
Yeah. When you said that, I get the Castlevania one, and then if there was any of the big ones that there are some that even you've heard of, but I was like, oh, this is weird. You're doing anime.
It's a light news week, all right. It's a light news week. So next up, we got a trailer actually for I Am the Night. This is the Patty Jenkins and Chris Pine limited series that TNT are doing. This is the one where the teenage girl discovers that she's the daughter of the Black Dahlia killer in Hollywood. And so we got a 2.5 minute trailer. It's not coming until January, but we got a 2.5 minute trailer. It's a very... This, honestly, if it didn't tell me a limited series at the end, I would assume it was a movie. It feels like a 2.5 minute movie trailer.
It does.
It does. So, what did you think? What did you think of the trailer?
I'm a little torn on the tone that it was, because at points it wanted to be this kind of murder mystery thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was other points where it seemed like it was trying to be a horror.
Yeah, there's a jump scare towards the end, where all it is someone in the foreground walks past the camera, but when the character turns round to see if the person's there, there's this loud sting in the music, and it really took me off guard.
As soon as the music comes in, it was kind of horror-esque, more so than I'd expect from a murder mystery thriller.
I mean, that one sticks out to me because it was such an over-the-top jump scare moment. I actually did kind of like it was sort of like the scratchy, like harsh strings that they've got for the rest of it.
There was a few times where you had like something just move in front of the camera, like not quite a jump scare, but like that sort of effect.
I guess they're trying to turn it into more of a creepy, like...
Must be.
Because we know who the killer is. It's not like a mystery who the killer is. It's more about how he's caught with using the daughter to get to him. And I think that's what my critique of the trailer is. That what I just told you there. This is the daughter of the Black Dahlia killer, and like this leads to him. I only know that because I read the description when we talked about it before. I didn't get that from the trailer.
No.
She says she's adopted at one point, and okay, so we understand there's a connection, but the rest of the trailer is extremely vague as to what the connection is, and by the end of it, like I'm like, okay, so why is she involved with this reporter who's played by Chris Pine?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I don't think it's the best trailer, admittedly, but in its defense of that, I guess they're going, well, it's not out till January. We'll keep that till a bit closer to the time.
Well, it's weird though because it's based on a true story, so it's not like.
No, I know.
You know, we can just look it up if we want to.
I think the show could be very good because obviously, people attached have talent.
Yeah, obviously Jenkins has talent. Pine, of course, is nice to see there. It does look like it has a style. Like I say, when I say it looks like it could be a movie trailer, that's also a compliment to the visuals, I suppose, as well. Because I don't look at it and go, oh, this is a TV show. I look at it and go, this looks like a 2-hour movie. It just happens to be that it's going to be, I don't know, whether it's 6 or 8 hours or whatever it is when it comes. So, and you can tell it's a complete story as well. Because, again, that's why it feels like a movie trailer. It feels like, oh, the whole thing is here. This is not just...
No, I agree. I still don't think it's the best trailer, though.
No, so it's a bit too cryptic, I think. And obviously, you might want some mystery, but I don't think it's mysterious in the places that it's supposed to be mysterious.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But no, it could be good though. I think that's one where, regardless of the trailer, the show itself could actually be very good. So obviously, it's something we'll probably look into.
I mean, with the talent attached, we were always going to check out that first episode, weren't we?
Yeah. So it's just kind of like how Sharp Objects is coming next week. That's kind of the talent that first puts onto that.
We weren't that into the trailer for that one either.
No, we were.
Well, you were more into it than me.
The first trailer we definitely liked the style of.
All right, maybe the more recent one that I've seen, I thought it looks all right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe style wise, it's still
remember because the first one was the one with the skateboard.
No, I agree style wise, but beyond that, I didn't have that much going for it me at least.
Which, to be fair, the early reviews of that have been very, very positive. It's just getting good buzz. So we'll be checking that out next week. But so that's I Am the Night. So that's coming January. So next up, Sony Pictures TV is tried to find a new home for Timeless, following its second cancellation by NBC, but nothing's come from it. No one's picking it up. Basically, the creators of Eric Kripke specifically, because there's two creators, him and Sean Ryan, said, okay, so it's not happening. The best bet is still the 2-hour movie at NBC if they're game to do it. But so it's still kind of up in the air. So we may still get that 2-hour movie if NBC's up for it.
But that'll be it.
At
least you know, right? You got a definitive answer.
That's true. That's it. I mean, the movie itself's still kind of in limbo. It's like, that still may not happen.
Oh, yeah. But a definitive answer as to whether or not you should be pushing for all the streaming services for pickup. It's like, well, focus your efforts on the movie now.
After Expanse and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I've used up my luck for this year.
Yeah.
I've used up
Can't
my...
complain though, can you? I mean, if I was gonna, I like Tams a lot. If I was gonna pick 2 out of the 3, Tams
I agree.
Would want to go.
Out of the three, I would agree Timeless would be the one that I'd let go. That said, though, if you said that or Lucifer,
But obviously,
I'd be like, yeah, cancel Lucifer, give me Timeless.
yeah, without saying.
But hey, so next up, Scott Derrickson, who directed the Snowpiercer pilot. He is the mediocre director who did the Sinister movie and Doctor Strange, both of which are very mediocre films. Don't at me. But he did
Definitely, that's why it's on the screen.
he did the pilot for Snowpiercer, and that show changed showrunners, and they're reshooting a lot of the pilot. And Derrickson was basically this week, he was saying he's basically refusing to go back and do the reshoots. He says the original 72-page Snowpiercer pilot by Josh Friedman is the best I've ever read, and he felt very passionate about his work on the pilot. And he was like, so the new showrunner's doing radically different things with the show. I am forgoing my option to direct the extreme reshoots. So he sounds very miffed that they're changing anything. The new showrunner is Graham Mason, for the record. So
that's not a great sign, is it? I mean, I know we don't rate him much as a director.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the cynical part of me is like, well, I don't like you as a director, so I'm kind of glad you're not doing any more of it. But the more level-headed side is you're changing showrunners and you're forcing reshoots of a pilot. Now, admittedly, like that said, if they're reshooting most of it or the whole thing, that does just mean that the new show is this new person's vision. It's just replacing the old one, so it might not actually be a cobbled-together mess. Like
no, I would expect it to be cohesive. I think my concern is, like I said, I don't necessarily respect him much as a director, but that's a strong opinion to have when they're offering him go here. Look, we've got a job. Come and direct, and he's gone. Do you know what? I don't like this. I don't like this script anymore. I like the other one way more.
Yeah, but I would debate that maybe he has bad taste, and therefore
maybe, yeah. But I mean, no, will we?
Not that I'm really that hopeful. I mean, I'll give it a fair chance. We'll definitely try Snowpiercer when it starts because it's right up our alley in terms of concept. Yeah. But I'm not exactly thrilled about the idea of a TV show of it. But
no,
hey.
That's fair.
Next up, Netflix has announced 2 new anime series. We're back onto the new shows here. And Netflix has announced 2 new shows, both of which will launch in 2019. The first is Ultraman. It's an action drama centered around a man possessing the spirit and DNA of the legendary hero of the same name as he wears a metallic ultra suit and fights against evil.
Sounds like an anime.
Not a lot to go on there. He's got a suit.
I think a lot of that's going to come down to seeing a trailer, right? Even okay for people who are interested.
Yeah, maybe not for me, but yeah, for other people, sure. The second new series is called Kengan Ashura. In the series, Kazuo Yamashita is an ordinary 56-year-old man who is one day summoned by the chairman of his company and hired as a gladiator. He learns that these hired gladiators engage in battles called Kengan matches to protect the corporate rights of the business they represent. Yamashita is assigned to battle the mysterious Kengan fighter named Oma Tokita, and both men join the Kengan Zetsumai maybe, tournament with the hope of winning the spot as chairman of the Kengan organization. Why a 56-year-old man? Why
maybe
is that?
That's young, because maybe maybe they've got to work their way up the business. They've got to be at a high enough level before you can use them. So maybe that's on the younger end.
Oh, it says he's summoned by the chairman of the company to be a gladiator. That isn't necessarily something he's been striving towards for the last.
No, but what
career.
I mean is, right, so the chairman of the company is selecting his next gladiator. Maybe they have to be they have to work at a certain level or above in management, right? They can't just you can't just hire in a grunt and go, I want him.
Yeah, but what if the grunt's got big muscles and is got a black belt in Taekwondo?
Well, that's exactly why you can't just hire in the grunt, because it's like, well, no, hang on. This is going to be someone loyal to your company. So they've got to be at this level, and they have to have been there for this many years before you're allowed to use them.
I feel it's weird that in an anime I'm complaining they're picking someone old, when the usual complaint with anime is that everyone's a goddamn teenager, and it's really creepy and sexualized. But hey, I'm just saying, what if you're picking someone to fight in a cage match? Why 56-year-old and not?
I'm sure there's a good reason.
I'm not sure there is. I might take that bet.
Oh, we're never going to remember. Look, we need people to remind us of this one when this comes out, right. Just so we can find out.
Next up, Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, they have boarded Freud, an upcoming German language thriller that comes from Austria. So I think this is the the first Austrian original they've got. Not the first German-speaking show, of course, because Dark was very good. We like Dark a lot. Check out Dark on Netflix. But this is Freud. But, it's going to be about a young Sigmund Freud as he teams with a medium and a police inspector to track a serial killer in 19th century Vienna. This is like a Fox show, but with a much higher budget.
Yeah, I read the description of this earlier in the week. I did not realize it was Austrian.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just saw like a tweet about it basically, and I thought, okay, that's an unusual concept, I guess, to do with Freud specifically, not the buddy cop elements.
Well, Freud studied in Vienna and is considered the founder of psychoanalysis. In Freud's series, he is on the trail of a killer alongside medium Fleur Salome and the surly war veteran and police officer Kiss. The character's name is Kiss. This feels oddly pulpy for a show about Freud, like in the dawn of. This is like Mindhunter, the prequel. This is like the start of all that. This is him just coming up with the basic terms, like before we even get to serial killer years later.
Yeah,
I say years, decades later.
Yeah,
lots of decades.
I mean, I'm down to see at least a trailer.
Yeah.
There are points where I'm like, you know what, I don't want to watch. I don't care enough. Whereas this, I'm like, I want to see what they're doing with this.
Yeah, this is an 8-episode season or show. If it's not a limited series, that is. I'm not sure if it is. It sounds like it could be multiple seasons. There's potential.
It definitely sounds like it could be, yeah.
Netflix will carry it everywhere except Austria itself, Belgium, Finland, and Hungary. So it's like this is one that's kind of co-making with some local companies and studios, but it is a Netflix original, unlike 90% of the planet. So
yeah, no, I respect Netflix doing that a lot with the the co-productions, because it guarantees this content gets made, and it's better than Netflix just pick up. I feel like a lot of them, they just pick up distribution rights.
Yeah.
Like a lot of anime, to go back to those. The anime that were made, created, aired in Japan, and then Netflix just pick up the distribution rights, slap a Netflix logo on it, and go, "Hey, this is a Netflix original now." I'm like, I mean, you're the global distributor, sure, but you didn't finance the creation.
See, it's funny you say that though, because if we're talking about films, that's completely okay. That's how films are often done. Like films are made and then they look for a distributor. That's just how normal movies are done with studios anyway. So
it is.
It's no difference with Netflix.
But the TV system is very different.
Oh, it is, yeah. But hey, so next up, speaking of Netflix, we got another foreign language series here. We got Netflix has ordered a drama set in the world of Mexican billionaires. It's called Monarchia. Actually, no, this may not be foreign language, even though it's clearly about Mexican billionaires, because it was originally in development in ABC in 2015. That's what makes me think it's not foreign language.
Not then,
yeah. But it's described as a high-stakes, multi-generational family saga about a tequila-born Mexican business empire and the battle that ensues when a member of the family decides to fight the dirty system her family helped create. It'll go into production in fall, and it's going to come out in 2019 sometime. So I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of those that has an uphill battle for me.
Yeah, the concept's not exciting or appealing to me.
You show me a trailer, you show me style, and really good acting, sure. But right now, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, this is one where the style could lift it up. As it is, it doesn't sound like anything that appeals to me, but you never know. So yeah, there's a couple of things. And speaking of Netflix picking up things that were in development for networks before, they've also ordered a series called Mixtape, which was actually in the pilot season we just had. And I remember talking about this actually when I started reading the description.
I don't remember the title, but
so yeah, this was Fox were going to make this. It hails from Joshua Safran, Jenna Dewan, and Callie Hernandez, along with Madeline Stowe, who all starred in the pilot, and they're all returning in the pilot. The only person who's not returning was the lead, which, funnily enough, was it Raul Castillo. The reason why he's not coming back, funnily enough, is because he just got casted on a Netflix show. so they're recasting that.
I only recognise one of those names anyway.
I don't recognise any of them.
Jenna Dewan, that was Channing Tatum's wife.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, she was. I'm pretty sure she was Lucy Lane in the first season of.
Oh, really? Okay.
Of Supergirl.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. The series is described as a romantic musical drama that looks at love stories connecting a diverse, disparate group of people in contemporary Los Angeles to the music that lives inside their hearts and minds.
I do remember this. This feels like it makes sense on Netflix.
Yeah, if it makes more sense to me to have 10 episodes of this instead of 22.
Yeah, I can see this as a Netflix show. Whereas, On Fox, probably not.
Yeah, I think that it looked like Fox was trying to recapture Glee,
Yeah,
but without all the baggage that has now, because obviously some of the actors have,
yeah,
you know, had a bit of a shaky private life, which is, you know, very severe. But yeah, so Netflix are doing it, so we'll see how it goes. And then the final news story of the week. I know it's short. It's just a quick week. There's not a lot
man,
this
this
week.
was padded out with anime.
I know it was padded out with anime. So, so this is actually another foreign language show, but this time it's not Netflix. HBO Europe has announced that they're doing a Czech series. I feel like we've spoken about a Czechoslovakian series before. It's called Oblivious. It is an espionage drama set in Czechoslovakia during the 1980s and will be helmed by Ivan Zacharias.
It's not Czechoslovakia anymore, though, is it? They're two separate. It's the Czech Republic and Slovakia now, isn't it? I mean, maybe this was in the 80s, but I'm sure
In the 80s, yeah.
it was set. But I'm sure now they're separate.
So when it says Czech series, does that mean the Czech Republic?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm mixing up some other countries, but I'm fairly sure that I'm right.
I wasn't aware of this, but it doesn't sound
unfeasible,
no,
does it?
No, it doesn't sound unfeasible, but I mean, but anyway, so it's set during Czechoslovakia in the 1980s. It's coming from Ivan Zacharias, who previously made HBO Europe's Wasteland. It's going to be a 6-episode story.
Oh,
As
cool.
Connor's Googling Czech, just to check.
I
I
am.
didn't even mean that. Just to check what does these facts.
Yeah. It's. I thought a quick Google tell me Czech Republic is showing up immediately when I put in Czech, but it's not coming.
Oh, yeah, but I just thought Czech Republic was Czechoslovakia.
Joe, I'd be better to Google Slovakia, wouldn't I?
You probably would be. Well, there's a lot of countries that end with Slovakia.
No, Slovakia is a separate country, or at least it is now.
And that's one that's disconnected. That's one that's broken apart from Czechoslovakia.
I thought so. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, Czechoslovakia, 1918 to 1939. This is in the history. So they were together. Establishment of the Slovak Republic after 1993. So they did split apart, yeah.
Okay, this is a post-Cold War thing here, right? Okay.
I can't see an exact date skimming this, but yes. Ah, there we go. Slovak Republic and Czech Republic went their separate ways after 1st of January 93.
All right, there you have it. All right. So this is a Czech series then. So this is Czech Republic then, I assume.
I would assume so, yes.
There you go.
Well, we'd like to be correct, wouldn't we?
Yeah. You know, I genuinely did not know that they split in half and the other half just took the last part of the name.
Yeah.
We're just Slovakia now. That's actually really amusing to me. That's like England splitting in half and the second place just been calling land.
I have to imagine they were two separate countries at one point.
Okay, and
then joined. And then went back, right?
That sounds feasible. Yeah.
Like one of them was conquered at some point, and like Czech took over Slovakia.
Joe was really bad as I studied the Cold War in school, but this was a few years later. We never really went into the heavy fallout of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, there you go.
No, I have no idea. This is just something that's stuck out.
Geography, not my strong suit, I guess.
Clearly,
it's actually maddening. I remember doing World War One and talking about like, you know, what now is like Turkey and Austria and all that, but there was like a completely different like system in that part of Europe. It was all different countries.
Yeah.
And that was really hard to get my head around. I remember like when I was first studying that.
It's more political geography than actual geography. Then,
No, it was actually different countries at the time.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is you're saying, oh, you're bad at geography. It's political geography. It's the names.
Oh, sure,
yeah. Rather than the actual geography of.
Because it was like Austria, Hungary, like they were like one combined.
Yeah,
thing.
Well, the Hungary was much bigger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like it was, a few other things were included in it.
Yeah. And I'm bad enough at geography as it is without swapping things around and.
Yeah, I can tell you these are all
changing.
vaguely Central European.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But I couldn't go any more specific. And based on this, Czech and Slovakia are probably right next to each other.
I imagine they are right next to each other.
I would hope so. Otherwise, that was a very complicated relationship.
It was very complicated. They had to cross through, like, I don't know.
That said, I've been watching the World Cup, and they show like where the stadiums are. No, this is relevant. This is something I don't know. It's obviously it's in Russia at the minute, so Russia's big enough as it is, right?
That's
and it
huge.
shows you.
In terms of land, it's like the biggest country.
It shows you this one stadium which isn't part of Russia, the mainland. It's like a territory that they own, and it's like the other side of Finland. I'm like, you don't need any more Russia. What are you doing with that over there?
At least with Alaska, it's like a nice big chunk, and it's like, okay, we all know that. But this sounds more like, it's a little town. So...
It's not quite that small, but it's not that. I mean, all those places around Finland, that area, they're not very big, are they?
No, of course not.
And it's just like, why have you got that, Russia? What are you doing? I learned something at least from the football.
I suppose you did. Anyway, talk about padding out a short episode. That brings an end to our news show.
I think I might have originally heard about the Czechoslovakia thing in a football tournament at some point. That might actually be where I know that knowledge from.
Why do they have different teams now in the feud? Is that a thing?
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe they still join and play together, and they're like, and that's what it is, because they're not big enough to have great players from their small populations individually. I don't know.
Don't know, not particularly care.
Someone can tell us if they want to. If not, well, we'll just never know.
That is the TV news this week. As we said, Handmaid's Tale was the only new episode of something we had this week, so therefore it wins Best Episode of the Week. And but we'll tell you what's coming next week. I mentioned it earlier, admittedly, but Sharp Objects pilot is airing on Sunday. We'll have the review up sometime on Monday night, so you can look forward to that. And I'm looking forward to it. It seems like it's getting a lot of good buzz, and it seems like I say, the trailer had a lot of style. So I'm hopeful. So I think that's 8 episodes, if I recall correctly.
Fair enough.
So
how often are you and Matt doing episodes of Glow?
I believe right now it's about 2 a week, because we did one on Tuesday and we're doing one at the time of recording tomorrow. We're doing one Sunday, and I think that might be the system going forward. So it'll take us about 5 weeks to get through it, unless we speed up somewhere. It's really up to Matt. I'll left it open for Matt and his schedule when he can.
He's a busy man.
He is a busy man. Well, he claims he's a busy man, and then he tells me about
watches a shit ton of movies.
Not even movies. He'll say he's busy, then he'll come back and say, "Oh yeah, there was like 5 hockey games this week," and I'm like, "Why do you spend so much time watching hockey?" He just gets disappointed. He's just heartbroken at the end of it. Why do you do it to yourself?
This is gonna be me next week. At the minute, I'm like, "Yeah, it's coming home, football." It's not happening. I know that in my heart, that I'm gonna be crushed in a week's time, and you're gonna enjoy it and relish.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But hey, so that is the TV news. As always, let us know what you thought about the news in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all the usual stuff. Get us on Patreon at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV. There's a link in the description. It has a handy list of all of the audio feeds, all the shows we do, all links to everything. But of course, if you want to support us there, you can, and get some extras out of it as well. But that is us. So thank you very much for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?